crashed into Bell Hill. Let's go and take a look.
Yeah! Come on, let's go!
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. We are back with Klonoa or the Phantomile. We're going to be wrapping this game up finally. It took several months. Almost a year, actually. But, yeah, finally gonna close this bad boy up. Now, wondering why did it take me so long to get to this one? Well, what happened was, if y'all recall in the last bonus episode, I had mentioned a new recording method, and you know, it was working for a while, but I noticed that the saturation was a bit too high, which is an understatement, by the way, and the colors just were kind of off. It was a little too bright, but you know, I figured, hey, I can just adjust that in Vegas, right? No. I found out that that's just how the capture card is. It's way too bright, and explains why I always see these ridiculous lines across the screen. So long story short, I had done this with that capture card, and I was like, you know what, I can't upload this, so I'm just gonna wait till I get back in the mood to play the game, because by that time, not gonna lie, my video game time was preoccupied with Mario Kart 8 and Smash Brothers. So I was like, I'll come back to this eventually. But yeah, before I continue off with that random tangent, if y'all recall, whoops, we did flip the world by clicking on that little icon in the world map where all those mirror fairies are gathered in the forest. They basically flip the world. And now the stages are also flipped, as well as the cutscenes actually. So Klonoa was standing in the right in what cutscene, then he will be on the left in reverse mode. But yeah, in the stages, they are reversed, as I just said, but there are also these vortexes you can find. They're extremely easy to find. I think there's maybe one or two in which you'll have to go out of your way to find, but that's not saying much. And you'll have to go through these challenges that are reminiscent of Blue's tower. You know, we found that vortex right inside the tower that Blue was building, actually. You just need an enemy to hop up there. This one is right out in the open where the path splits after that minecart ride. And you know, these first two, they're pretty easy. Kind of easy to screw up though, because it does harken back to my complaint I made earlier that you have to be precise with your movements. It is kind of hard to do because of just how Klonoa is, you know. It's just, this game was designed to be simple, and I feel they shoved these challenges in for the sake of making it difficult, and it's kind of unnecessary because you don't even really get anything for doing this. I'm just showing this off just to, you know, just because it's in the game, so it's like, may as well. Doesn't really count towards 100%, I don't know, I mean, you'll see later. But yeah, in Vision 2-1, that vortex is actually located near the end. It's really on the way. I think this one you have to go out of your way somewhat. I pointed this out in the main playthrough that there's like nothing here, but the vortex is actually in that bottomless pit. So just take a leap of faith. It might be hard to see it. That might be the challenge in finding it. But other than that, no, I think that's probably the hardest vortex to really get to, honestly. Yeah, the real challenge are, well, the challenges themselves within the vortex. Sometimes you gotta, well, all the time you've got to use the air jump to get across a bottomless pit. And by bottomless pit, I mean pit full of lava, so it's not really bottomless. Whoops. And yeah, they just get ridiculous later on. This one is not too much of an offender. You just gotta flip the switch and, you know, jump across. And yes, I'm editing out a lot of deaths because overall these are stupidly hard. Just because, again, I don't think Klonoa was designed for this kind of precision. I can't stress enough that I feel they just shove these in for the sake of not only to add more links to the game, but to give quote-unquote challenge to something that's supposed to be a relatively easy experience, in my opinion. That's just me, because they don't do this in the second Klonoa game. So then again, that never got a remake. If it may and I don't see them going for a remake at this point in time. But if they do, they might, just might, add a mode in like this. Wait, I don't think mirror fairies are in. Well, they'll probably find a way. But yeah, you'll notice that in each challenge there's a medal at the end. That's your main objective, just to get that medal. They throw a crap ton of lies at you at the beginning of each challenge, so they're aware of the BS that are these challenges. Even with memorization, yeah, I honestly feel sometimes it's luck. That's just my opinion. And some are ridiculous, like here you have to stay suspended in the air by repeatedly air jumping from the same flying move that spawns in until another flying move spawns to the right. It's a little more ridiculous than that, trust me. This one, oh yeah, I think this one they mess with your, yeah, you have to interact with the planes that are in the front and the back, so you, like I said, you gotta move quickly. Ugh. That part can be tricky with the spikes. You know, it takes one touch to pop those inflatable enemies, so you gotta be careful. And you also can't throw those enemies. No, those, because, oh, which was it? Well, maybe. I never tried pressing that throw button, because usually when you want to jump with the move, you have to press A, and when you press A with that enemy in particular, you would just fly a little bit faster. Who knows? Never tried it. Maybe try it one day. But yes, we are already more than halfway done. I mean, I'm doing a lot of editing, but honestly, if you're just going for these challenges, it won't take you long. Like, I actually did all of this in one sitting because I didn't have to go for the villagers or nothing like that, so it's just a matter of going from point A to point B. And once you know which rooms are, you know, like treasure rooms, which rooms hold the villagers, and which rooms actually lead to the right path, this game is, it takes little to no time to beat. And that's if you don't go for 100%. If you go for 100%, the gameplay is extended by a little bit, but you can do this in a day. It's just that technical difficulties prevented me from doing this in a day, but oh well. It may prevent me from doing a lot of games, but whatever. So anyway, since this really isn't too, there's nothing else I can. Oh, you know what? I forgot I left this in. I'll let y'all listen.
Who's that?
Are you alright, sir?
Thank you for your help. It caught me off guard.
Who are you?
I am Moire, the high priest of this temple. I oversee the sanctuary just up ahead.
Where's Gaudius?
I am afraid that it's too late. The moon door has already been opened. And Cress, the moon kingdom, will soon be reawakened.
But what will happen then?
I love how the vortex is right there at the start.
Power of dreaming and gives form to Phantomile.
I switched the voice acting to English, which is new for this remake, and
Trying to turn dreams into nightmares. Unleash
some voices are okay.
There must be a way.
And that's it. I mean, Klonoa, Hupo in some instances. Up there goes my screen. Whoops. Anyway, Klonoa, this guy right here whose name I forgot because you only see him twice. Also, the thing with Hupo is sometimes he sounds like a boy, which is what he's supposed to be. Sometimes he just sounds like a girl. It's this problem that I have with Tails and pretty much almost every single voice actress he's had, because he's been voiced by none but women. Nothing wrong with him. It's just sometimes he just doesn't sound like a boy. And I understand because he's voiced by a woman, but I don't know. And he's had the most voice cast actually. I think he got a new voice actress for Sonic Boom, which is odd. I think that he's the only one that got a new voice cast. I'm not sure. I haven't been keeping up with Sonic as much as I used to because reasons. Anyway, yeah, English is okay, but I just prefer to speak to good old Phantomile with a yeah. Right. So last two up. What to talk about? Oh, right, the new capture card. I got the Elgato HD 60, which is probably what I should have gotten from the get-go. It's basically perfection, if you want my honest opinion. Like, I really have had no issues, which, I mean, it's kind of early to say since I've only had it for maybe a week, but then again, for previous capture cards, I had issues within the first week that I had to iron around, and with this one, no, not a single one. And HDMI just looks so crisp. Love it. I think my only, not so much problem, just something that threw me off with this capture card is that it doesn't need an external power source. It uses the computer to turn on and off, which is what I generally prefer, because I think my V500 Diamond, I think that was what my capture card was called, my very first one back in 2012, that didn't require a power source, but then I got the Dark Crystal and then the Avermedia HD Thingamwhatsit. Those require power sources, so I guess I'm kind of used to that. And then going back to one without it, it was kind of weird, but it's a lot more convenient in my opinion. And with that, we have all the medals. Yeah, it's nothing really special, I think. Yeah, waste of time. Nah, that's my final opinion on that. That's really it, the medal show up on the map. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are done with Klonoa. I will most definitely return to the second game, which is one of my favorite games of all time, actually. Later on in this year, I'm probably going to redo that, now that I got better equipment. But yes, thank y'all for watching, and I will see y'all then. Take care, y'all.